My body cells obey my will. They dance with divine vitality. I am well. I am strong. I'm a flowing river of boundless power and energy. Let's make some whole wheat bread today with jalapeno peppers. You could substitute one Bob Red Mill's 1-to-1 flour, and I will do that in another video, for the whole wheat bread flour, but it's still, and it works about the same. The one difference is the 1-to-1 really only rises once, and you pour it straight, once you have your batter, your bread dough, you put it straight in the pan, let it rise in the pan, and put it straight in the oven. And you can coat it with a little bit of oil too, that helps. This is something I have been doing for a while because it seems like the 1-to-1 really only rises once. If you push it down, you don't seem to quite get the second rise. They claim it's 1-to-1, and it sort of is for most recipes, but this is something that I just found to be helpful. So, to start our bread recipe, we want a cup of water this was boiling water, still quite warmish. And the reason for using boiling water is to help dissolve the yeast, and dissolve in this case we're going to use molasses, and to speed up the yeast growing process, the fermentation. We've got all the water in there. We can now add, as a bit of a change, instead of coconut oil, instead of olive oil, which is what I usually use, we're using coconut oil that I already have melted. So we come back here, pour in the coconut oil, and we're using 2 to 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. Okay. Go to our molasses. As you know, it's a great source of calcium, potassium, iron. Get in our molasses. Okay. Active dry yeast. You can use 2 tablespoons of that. If you're using those bags, I think the bags are actually a full tablespoon, which is 3 teaspoons, and that's fine also. Teaspoon of salt. Okay. Now, to get a little extra loft, this is especially helpful with the Bob Red Mill's 1-to-1s, we can add a little bit of baking powder. Baking soda. No, baking powder. Mix all that together. Now we're making this jalapeno bread. Oh, I see the video is need to move my camera a little bit here. All those things got added. Not really seeing. My apologies for that. So our batter has kind of a brownish color from the molasses, and I chopped up chunks of jalapeno, 1 jalapeno pepper, and well, because it's going to be dispersed throughout the bread, 1 makes a fairly mild loaf. Okay. Now, to help with ourselves get a little more loft, we can put in, this is a full cup, but we're only going to use a quarter cup. Quarter cup seems to have gone for a walk, and both these cups are used for liquid. All right. We'll use a half cup, but you just fill it 3/4, about half full for a quarter cup or so of flax meal. Flax meal obviously adds a lot of good nutrients, but also gives more elasticity to our flour, to our dough, and so you get a nicer rise out of it. It's an egg substitute. We're mixing that in there. And since both of our cups were used for water, we cannot put those in the bread flour. So let's count out about 6 half cups or 3 cups of flour. It looks like it's going to take more like 4 or 5 cups. The recipe is not exact, and it seems like it changes based on the season. And that's the art of making bread. The rules are one thing, the actual art of it is another. So this jalapeno bread coming along here, I meant to add, before I got into mixing the flour in, a bit of ginger. Ginger improves the digestibility of the bread and helps the nutrients to go where they're needed in the body. It's considered to be a guide herb, and about a half a teaspoon. It's a very minor quantity, just kind of hides in the background. Cinnamon is also helpful. It's another guide, less so than ginger, but it's helpful also to add cinnamon, especially in the winter months when a little extra warming is needed. Now, the cinnamon I prefer there are two kind of, that's one's a little stronger from Vietnam and Saigon, sometimes called Saigon cinnamon, and the other one is called Ceylon cinnamon, which is from off the coast of India. The Ceylon cinnamon is a milder taste and used less traditionally in baking. It appears, however, that so we're right around 2.5 cups to 3 cups of flour. And it's starting to get that look of flour where it starts to get elongated and stringy. So we're making artisan bread, which means we don't do a lot of kneading. We mix it up and we let the yeast do the work. Because the yeast can break down the proteins and give us a nice long gluten, which is a protein. Super helpful if you're doing a lot of physical activity. That's what gets us into trouble. If we were being physically active as our ancestors did, gluten bread stays with you the whole day. And if you're outside in the coolish weather working, that's why it's your friend. Now, if you live in warm climates, There are other things like corn is a nice stay with you grain. That's less heating. Okay. So when it starts to look right, it kind of gets this wet look to it. And you can see that it has a bit of string to it already, but is well mixed. Now, if you were making traditional yeasted bread, you would add even another half cup or so of flour and get the dough a little bit drier still. This will grow nicely and make a very nice bread. You can see the jalapenos in there. We'll let this sit for a few hours and scrape it into our pans and bake it at 350 for about an hour. We'll see. So now we're going to take our jalapeno bread dough, split it roughly in half, and if you've been using other recipes where you use a Dutch oven, you would actually let it grow and then push it down, and then in the 15 minutes while the oven is getting up to temperature, that would give it time to come up, to rise again, and give you a nice loaf. With this approach, we're adding it to our pan. Pans, in this case, I'll try to make them about the same as best as we can. If you were using a Dutch oven, you would oil it up with coconut oil, which has a higher smoke temperature and takes a heat of 475 degrees much better. Now we take our spatula and we lightly kind of pat the loaf into a bit of a circle, both shaping it and also bring more gloss to the surface. This helps give us that nice crust on the end. We take our other one here. Again, they're trying to cover up the jalapenos so they don't just smoke and get dried out. Okay. And then we will cover those and let those sit for a while. 3 to 4 hours is good for these. If it's overnight, then the water should be cooler when you're making your dough, so it takes longer to rise. And we'll see you in a few. And here we are, 4 hours later, actually almost 5 with baking time. And we can see we have 2 lovely loaves. An hour at 350, more like an hour and 10. And we get a very crunchy, probably can even hear that, crisp to the outside, soft inside.
This is almost like the experience of eating a cracker. And for more of a snack bread with the jalapenos, which are very mild in this case, that's a very satisfying crunch in the teeth, very helpful. My body cells obey my will. They dance with divine vitality. I am well. I am strong. I am a flowing river of boundless power and energy. See you next time. Om.